Hello, good people of YouTube, Mountbatten here, and today we're going over 5 premium ships you can buy for the cost of ARP Yamato. So you can buy all 5 of these ships for the cost of the ARP Yamato bundle, the bundle that gets you the unique upgrade, legendary model, whatever you want to call it, the 54,000 doubloon bundle. And these are 5 ships that are pretty fun. These are some of my more favorite premium ships. And if you are thinking about picking these up, I would recommend it, especially one of these ships because it is being removed quite soon. Well, 3 months from now. But anyway, guys, let's go ahead and dive right on in with number 5, which is the Tier 6 Premium Japanese battleship, the Mutsu. So the Mutsu is one of the rare good Japanese premium ships. She has 16-inch guns at Tier 6, which is very, very nice, which means you're pretty much a Tier 6 Yamato when it comes to overmatching the bow armor of Tier 6 and 7 ships. Obviously, if you get up to Tier 8, you can't do that anymore, but down at Tier 6 and Tier 7, you certainly can. And it's especially lovely when you get top tier in the ship and you're fighting Tier 5 ships. That's very, very, very enjoyable in this ship. Now, the Mutsu, in order to get these 16-inch guns at Tier 6, they gave her a World War I era shell that basically comes down to you have great pins at close range, but at longer range, the pins really start to drop off. So the closer you are on the Mutsu, the better. Plus, if you do go full secondary build on her, you do have pretty darn good secondaries. They don't have the most range in the world. They can get out to 6 kilometers, but she just has so darn many of them that with the secondary build, you will chew through many a ship with these secondaries. Now, they're not like, god tier or anything. They're just pretty decent. And certainly more than enough to make a destroyer think about sneaking up on you. I've actually death struck 2 destroyers just with the secondaries on the Mutsu. One was Nicholas, came around the corner and did not expect me to be there or to have a full secondary build. Secondaries tore him a new one. In addition to that, she also has torpedoes. She has 4 torpedoes. Yes, that's right, just 4. That's it. You get 2 launchers on one side, 2 launchers on the other side, and they are both single launch torpedoes. However, they reload incredibly fast, so in a brawl, that's certainly enough knockout power to take the enemy ship out of the fight. So she does have torpedoes. She can go after higher tier ships, although I would not recommend it because she has not the best armor. Had to get something for those guns just beyond the shell type. And she's maneuverable too. Again, giving up the armor for that. But again, she's a ship that's a pretty fun ship, pretty darn good range too when you get her spotter plane out. And again, is one of the better Japanese premium ships in my opinion. I would recommend you guys pick her up if you're thinking about it. Moving on down now to number 4, we have the Tier 8 premium German battleship, the Tirpitz. The mighty, mighty Tirpitz. I mean, there is no premium ship that has better value than the Tirpitz because it simply is every class in the game. It's a cruiser, it's a destroyer, it's a battleship, and it's an aircraft carrier. It's the Tirpitz. What more do I have to say about it? 4 15-inch guns with German accuracy, German improved accuracy actually after the dispersion buff some time ago, much better. And the reload speed of these 15-inch guns is really, really nice, 25 seconds. So you get decently accurate now salvos every 25 seconds of 15-inch German AP, which that does bring one heck of a punch. I mean, it is only 8 shells, but when you're in the Tirpitz's optimal range, which is secondary range, it's plenty enough. On top of that, she does have, of course, German secondaries. Amazing German secondaries with German HE, so most of the secondaries can pin 32 millimeters of armor, so no need for IFHE. On top of that, with the full secondary build, you can get these suckers out to over 11 kilometers, and I gotta tell you guys, well, I mean, you guys don't. Most of you guys don't need to be told this, but again, German secondaries are amazing, especially when you can move in and use them. And she also, of course, gets torpedoes because it's the Tirpitz. So Tirpitz is still pretty much the king of knife fighting. The Pommern might have eclipsed her because she does have 12 15-inch guns and torpedo twos, but she's at Tier 9, and Tirpitz is at Tier 8, so, I mean, there's an argument there. But, I mean, king of knife fighting, has great armor for it, just that good old German turtleback armor where you're not going to get citadel from close range, but you still got to watch your sides because you will eat chunks left, right, and center because that turtleback armor is great at close range, but not so great at longer range. And of course, she does have less AA than the Bismarck and does not have hydroacoustic search, so be extra vigilant of those sneaky little Doritos guys. And of course, make sure you stay aware of your surroundings and don't just munkle right into the fight, because that's how you get labeled a Tirpitz. I'm sure many of us do remember the days of when Tirpitz was first introduced, the 8v8 Tirpitz's games we used to have back in the day. Yeah, she's a fantastic ship, well worth the money. Alright, moving on down now to number 3. We have the Tier 7 Premium German battleship, the Scharnhorst. Yes, the Scharnhorst. Now, this is a ship that many have said is not worth it anymore, and I would tend to disagree. Because if you approach the Scharnhorst with the same mindset that you approach the Odin, that this is now a battle cruiser or a super cruiser, not a battleship, she's still pretty workable in today's World of Warships, especially when she's top tier. Now, when she jumps up to tier 9, like the match you're watching right now, yeah, not gonna lie, that sucks. But her guns have more than enough DPM to keep in the fight, especially with, again, the accuracy buff that the German main battery guns got. She's much more serviceable now than she was before that. And you still get German secondaries. You get these secondaries out to 8 kilometers. Now, I do think that is an aspect that needs to be buffed about the Scharnhorst and Gneiss now. The 8 kilometer range on the tier 7 secondaries is like, it's decent, but with the way the game's gone nowadays, something like 9.5 or 10 kilometers would be much, much better. I get why it's 8, but just a little bit of a range buff would certainly help out there. But you do get torpedoes. Again, torpedoes, the great equalizer, like with the Mutsu and the Tirpitz. When you're fighting a ship that's above your weight class, you can get close into them, shove these torpedoes into their broadside, and they are done. Oh, the secondaries too. She does have worse secondaries than the Gneiss. Gneiss secondaries can pin 32 millimeters of armor. The secondaries on the Scharnhorst, most of them unfortunately cannot. So they're still great for ripping through cruisers and destroyers that get within your secondary range. But again, nowadays, not so much with the way Tier 7 matches go. However, the speed and maneuverability of the main battery guns of the Scharnhorst are still very nice in my opinion today. If you play her right, play her like a super cruiser, she is still a very, very, very potent foe or a very, very, very potent ally. Plus, she has the best armor at Tier 7 for any battleship. You angle with that armor, you're going to be able to go a very, very, very long way in your match, even if you get up tiered. Alright, moving on down now to number 2. We have the Tier 8 Premium Soviet battleship, the Lenin. The Lenin is a ship that I'm surprised I don't see people talking about a lot more. It's basically a Nelson that drank too much vodka, and it's kind of better than the Nelson in just about every way except for the super heal. Her armor is a lot better from the nose in. Now her side armor is very weak, just like the Nelson, but you don't really ever have to show off your side unless you're in a situation like I found myself in this match, where Richtofen decided that I was going to be his plaything for the match. And I'm showing this clip because I often don't show the Lenin when it's not in its ideal setting, because again, I talk so much about the ship and how strong it is and stuff, but its downsides are rather quite big, and its AA protection is definitely one of the biggest. It doesn't really have much AA. The fighter doesn't really do much, especially nowadays, to deter CVs from striking you. And you can get matches like this where, yeah, you get dumped on by an MVR for 26,400 damage of Citadel damage within the first couple of minutes of the match. But thanks to the Lenin being the Lenin, I still managed to come out with a pretty decent match, finishing with just, I think, just under 100k damage to like 98k damage done. And this was an up-tiered match too. And again, I got dumped on by the MVR in the first like 4 minutes of the match. But anyway, still a very strong ship, especially when it's in its correct setting, which honestly I find myself in the correct setting more often than not, which is, heck, even a tier 10 game, just without the CV picking you to be its chew toy for the match. The 16-inch Soviet shells are god tier. They slap the crap out of anything that dares to show them broadside. It's feels like a little Slava in some regards, except it doesn't get the further away you are from the target, the better the accuracy. The closer you are to the target, the better the accuracy with the Lenin. And plus, with the armor, the nose armor being what it is and being fantastic, play it like a Nelson, play it nose in, and just slap the crap out of ships that dare encroach upon your viewing radius. And plus, the middle turret can 360 degrees. It's not like the Nelson where that turret has to take the long way around. You can spend 360 on the top because I guess the Soviets get that. And this ship, armed with Kuchinov, is a mighty, mighty, mighty tank, and again, a good asset to your team. So if you're thinking about picking up the Lenin, don't hesitate. It's a great ship. Just know it doesn't have the best AA. Stick near your teammates. Try not to get screwed by the game like I did in this match, where you get spawned in the middle and then both sides immediately go the opposite direction from each other, so you get stuck out left in the open. That kind of sucked. But anyway, moving on down now to our honorable mentions. So the following can also be purchased for the price of ARP Yamato. And here we go. Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Red Dead Redemption 2. Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. And an actual Yamato. So all those can be purchased for the price of a single ARP Yamato. Alright, coming in at number 1, we have the Tier 8 American battleship, the Massachusetts, of course premium ship too. Massachusetts, I mean, I love this ship. This ship is still a tie for my favorite premium ship, tied currently right now Shikishima and Oda. It's a 3-way tie. This ship is fantastic. It's essentially an Alabama with less accurate guns, but with German levels of secondaries. You get the secondaries out to about 11 kilometers, and they are laser accurate. They don't pin as much as the Germans do, but they're much more accurate and have a pretty darn good chance of starting a fire, and a pretty darn decent reload too. Massachusetts also gets a special heal and a special damage con to help it get in those brawls and get out with most of its health intact for the most part, and to reward you for being more aggressive. Well, not to reward you, but to incentivize you to be more aggressive, because the American battleship armor scheme doesn't inherently do well in brawling situations, but with this special heal, this special damage con, it most certainly does. And it's a lovely ship, well worth the money right now. And this is a ship that is disappearing in 3 months, so I do recommend you pick it up if you enjoy brawling. It's fantastic. The 9 16-inch guns are absolutely great for brawling situations. Now, the dispersion, the dispersion is actually good. It's the Sigma that's actually bad. It still gets that American battleship dispersion. So the shells come out of the barrels kind of funky, but they don't travel too far because of that nice American dispersion. And it still has pretty darn good AA. It has almost the exact same AA suite as the Alabama. It's literally missing 4 AA guns. That's it. That's literally it. You can look at the numbers there. It's missing 4 AA mounts. That's it. But still quite a fearsome ship. Most CVs won't attack you in it, especially early game, unless you've eaten a lot of HE, then they'll go after you. But the ship's still pretty maneuverable. It's not the fastest thing ever, coming in at 28 knots, but by Tier 8 standards, it's pretty darn good. The Massachusetts has just been a ship that has refused to cave to the meta and refused to die like so many other older premiums have with the ever-changing meta of warships. The Massachusetts had said, no, I'm still going to be an awesome ship. So much so that Wargaming is pulling it in February, so I definitely recommend you pick up the Massachusetts if you have seen it and you like what it looks like, or if you like brawling, or if you just want a really nice battleship. All in all, Massachusetts is most certainly your go-to. Alright guys, those are my top 5 premiums, and well, I guess top 5 other things you can purchase for the price of a single ARP Yamato. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. I just thought this would be a fun take, given the situation that we're in now with ARP Yamato, and we're giving outright selling tier 10 premiums to us now. Anyway guys, hope you're having a wonderful Monday. If you did enjoy the video, make sure you subscribe to the channel. We're on our way to 20,000 subs. We just passed 18,800 yesterday, and I cannot thank you guys enough for that. Again guys, hope you're having a wonderful Monday. Hope to catch you guys in the next one.